Do you know what they say, Gabe?
What do they say?
They always used to say, "Oh, we're Phoenix. People don't want to play for us. Players don't want to come here. Oh, it's such a sorry existence as a Suns fan. The players don't come here ever." Guess what? Guess what, folks? Guess what? Bradley Beal is coming to the Suns.
Forced his way down there.
Suns. Basically, we're getting Bradley Beal for a salary dump. A salary dump, Gabe. We're getting an all-star caliber player for a salary dump.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
But they say that stuff never happens for us, man. Well, get used to it. This is the Matt Ishbia era. Get used to it.
And if you don't already know, because this became apparent to me just minutes before we started, late
minutes.
Okay, is that your boy who?
Gordon. I said Jordan.
Jordan Goodwin. I really hope that.
Jordan.
Listen, I got some sources. All right, and sources are telling me that this Goodwin is going to be better than Archie Goodwin, and that's really all that matters. No, apparently he's good, man. Apparently he's good, and this move is being looked at as like, what are the Wizards doing, man? They're just getting fleeced, and the fleecing
are they
doesn't
getting
end.
fleeced? Are they hitting the reset button? Maybe that's just what they're doing. They got rid of Wall a while back. Now they're getting rid of Beal. I think they've just realized, look, man, we got to hit that reset button. It's not going to work out for us. And I think that's what they're doing, man. So people saying, what are they doing? Well, obviously they're hitting that reset button because they're sending Beal this way. Beal forces his way out, no trade clause and everything. Send them to the Suns. Looks like they're about to hit that reset button. And it's very obvious because, next up, it's got to be Porzingis and Kuzma also on the chopping block. So the Wizards looks like they're starting over.
Blazers Uprise, a.k.a. Tory the T-God, says that they got fleeced, Sundo.
No one's disagreeing that they're getting fleeced. I'm just trying to give you a logical reason why they're getting fleeced. You know, it was a
special situation. He had a no trade clause. He could force his hand. And they said, okay, look, if he's going to force our hand, I guess we'll reset everything. Give us your old contracts. We'll do the waiving and stuff of Chris Paul. We'll send him on over to LeBron and the Lakers. They can be injured together with AD. And we'll get out from under everything. I don't know.
Look, however you want to spin it, all that matters is that Beal is now a Phoenix Sun.
Crazy,
and people want to say they never want to come to the Suns. And that's literally 2 seasons apart, less than 6 months apart. We've had 2 all-star caliber players force their way to
all-star. We're talking
Hall of Famer and Kevin Durant and all-star and Beal right now.
That's very fair. You know, I'm telling you, man. I think we're living in an alternate timeline. This shit does not feel
Lopez says,
real.
if CP3 gets released, can we bring him back? No, that is now officially off the table. So CP3 cannot come back. So if CP3 goes to the Wizards, they cut him. He gets to go wherever he wants to. He's probably going to go to LA. He's probably going to go to the Lakers more than likely. So just get ready for that. Sons Nate says Yuta is 100%. Yuta is coming 100% right now? Question mark. I would hope so. I just feel like that needs to happen. That's just me.
You know, a couple of days ago, if you would ask me if we were getting Bradley Beal, I would have said, "Oh, that sounds insane."
You told
so
me
getting
we were getting Bradley Beal and Jordan Goodwin in a deal for Shamet and CP3. I would have slapped the dog poop out of you, bro. I would have smacked you, right? No way. But guess what? It happened. And the fact that we're getting Jordan Goodwin, who, in my opinion, after watching and looking up highlights, and he's a St. Louis boy, miles better than Shamet. Makes me wonder why Shamet's even still in the league at this point, because this dude seems to be a solid player, way better than Shamet, way more efficient than Shamet.
I just can't believe. Can we just back this up really quickly? All right,
back it up.
Let's back this up. Everybody, you see Blazers Uprise released a Bradley Beal trade. Obviously, go check that out and support Tori and them. But listen, bro,
support them.
Here's the most important thing that I can think about right now.
What can you think about?
A week, just 2 days ago, before this broke, if I would have called you and said, "Hey, dude, I got a feeling that we're gonna get Bradley Beal, and you know what it's gonna cost us," and you'd have been like, "Shoot, everything?" No, just Christopher Paul and Landry. That is the joke of all jokes.
I mean, that's really what
that is the joke of all. You would have been like, "Bro, stop calling me."
Right? Yeah, you could have almost blamed. You could have explained blame. You could have almost explained CP3. Like, okay, I get it. Hall of Fame player at the end of at the twilight of his career, but you could maybe make some sense into it. But Landry Shamet, who, as you said, has been not so good for us. Trick shot Shamet. I love how you added that in there. Trick shot Shamet. Like, yeah.
I feel
this is crazy.
Listen, man. I'll be honest, and I don't want to go overboard here, but this is the type of scenario in which you usually wake up at some point and you're like, "Oh, hey baby, I had the craziest dream. I'm not even going to tell anybody about it because it was so dumb, because it would never happen. I should have known it was a dream." Am I going too far? Am I missing the plot here? And did we mess up or something? No, right? This is all positive. There's no other shoe about to drop. Go on.
It's just, yeah, it took me a while to take it in today. Like, I saw, we saw the rumors over the weekend starting to, swell up and come up, and I was like, nah, bro, I was like, it would be cool, but that's not gonna happen. That was my whole thing. Like, nah, it's not gonna happen. He's gonna go to Miami because who wouldn't want to go to Miami who wouldn't want to live there if you're a millionaire basically. So I was just like,
aside from that he could win right now with it.
He could win right there.
We just saved ourselves and everyone else from having to deal with Bradley Beal helping that team that was right on the cusp. All they needed was offense. Everybody in the East dodged a bullet today.
Yeah. And also on top of that, if this Goodwin deal does happen, we significantly just got younger, which is crazy to think about. We significantly got younger with this trade. Beal's 29. So we're at this point, we're looking at the oldest player on the roster is Kevin Durant.
Golly, bro.
We just, we can talk about, what it means for the team fit, all that stuff. But, just from the surface level, it's a good trade. It's a great trade. Amazing trade. I can't believe it happened. And like I said, like Tori said, we fleeced them because of no trade clause, but you still try to explain away why they did it. And why they set up for CP3 and Shamet, not Ayton. You didn't want to get a star that you think you could, develop into a good big man. You didn't do that. You just picked CP3 and Shamet and some second rounders. That's what kind of blows my mind on this whole thing. So let me ask you this question. I don't mean to turn this into a Ayton bashing question, but What does that say about Deandre Ayton that they said, nah, we're good. Give us old CP3 and Landry Shamet in some seconds and we'll call it a deal.
Well, it just says that they were not one of the teams that valued Deandre Ayton. And that's okay. Not all the teams are going to be fooled, or not everyone has to buy into the hype that we see for Deandre Ayton. It wasn't going to be every team. Let's definitely get into Deandre Ayton first. I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. What's going on, everybody?
150 watching.
We got Miss Sundo in the house first and foremost. All right, Mac Mall in the house. Baby Malo, aka Pilk Sundo the Pilk Man. What's good? We got We Just Gaming. What up? We got Blazers Uprise in the house. Raya, Kang, Dat Homie. What's up? Alex Kroll. What's going on, man? We had a 149 dono that you just blew through.
Yeah, sorry. The excitement of talking about Bradley Beal and the fleecing, got me pumped. Speaking of donos, we have a 199 super chat from Hans Sagan. Beal forced Washington to keep DA out of. No, he didn't. He says Beal forced Washington to keep Deandre Ayton out of the trade. I don't see how he would have any hand in that.
Thank you. Well, he has the no trade clause. So he could say, yeah, look, if you guys get Deandre Ayton back in it. Now, this is all speculation, unless, Han, you've got some, sources.
Insider.
Then let us know. Or link us, put it in the Discord. If that's true, wowie. He was like, yeah. KD demanded a trade, but then they traded all the talent. I'm not letting you guys trade the rest of the talent. Like, if you guys are going to salary dump me, then I don't want to go to a team that's like, do you want to keep DA?
Do I want to keep DA?
Yes.
For the prospect of what he could be, sure. Yeah. I think Monty Williams had a lot to do with his attitude, in my opinion. That's just me. We saw what DA was, 2 seasons ago and how consistent he was, and he just seemed to get lazier and lazier and less interested in Monty Williams as time went on. So, yeah, I mean, if he felt slighted by Monty Williams in some way, yeah, I mean, maybe. And maybe Frank Vogel can turn it around. But
Young Ho is in the house.
Yeah, I saw Young Ho.
And
by the way, people, we got 153 watching. Hit that like button, please.
For real, that would be
likes.
Essentially helpful.
Yes, very helpful.
Who else? Oh, Burner. Somehow, Burner got up before midnight. Now, explain that. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's the big news. Uday says our son's getting Yuta. We hope so. And we think it's going to happen just because it seems that Kevin Durant really likes him. I think that might be one of the reasons why Kevin Durant might be able to convince him to come to the Suns. We get Yuta.
Can I tell you
I would love that.
Can I tell you why it behooves Yuta to come to the Suns? Because he'll come to a team where he will be treated like the person that was picked last to be on the court. He will be in the Okogie role in prime time, on TV every night, in the playoffs, heavily scrutinized, he'll be in Gabe Vincent's role. And what's Gabe Vincent about to do? Get paid. What's Bruce Brown about to do? Get paid. Yuta can come to the Suns for 1 year, Yuta! 1 year, you come live in Scottsdale. All right, and live with Kevin Durant and play with the guys. And then next year, you're paid. You're paid wherever you want to go. You're Austin Reeves. You get to showcase your talent on a team that's going to make it so that no one defends you. For 1 year, you're going to make $1 million. You're going to make at least $1.8 million. Come on.
Yeah. Well. It remains. Well, sorry. You said it, but the fact of the matter remains.
You got Yuta on the brain.
It does, but the fact of the matter remains. Like, now that this trade's going to happen, we literally have only 5 players on our roster. So we definitely need to figure this thing out. Well, if you want to count Jordan, with 6.
With
Goodwin now at 6, but we still need, a bench at this point. That's why I keep making the jokes about the bench, bro. I saw Burner. He keeps saying ignoring him.
No. He said pump and dump Yuta. I don't think we want him, his first, introduction to our channel to be us calling him pump and dump Yuta.
Oh, man.
But we appreciate it.
I would love to see Yuta. Jordan campaign.
Hey, baby.
I just, I have a suspicion that there's going to be some surprises happening more this offseason. I feel like Matt Ishbia is
out of his mind.
Out of his mind right now.
Out of his mind on cocaine. How? Like, we were really giving him his flowers before this. You're over here making, glorifying videos, like treating this dude like he's, Mahatma Gandhi. And now, how do you feel about Ishbia?
Feel great. Felt like I was right.
I feel like he's just... All right, this could all backfire. if this big three, for some reason there's injuries or whatnot, so let me preface that. But if this works out and the Suns get a title, he's just going to look like some extreme winner.
A savant?
Savant is a great word. He's going to just look like the man. Like, this dude goes and he's 4'3" and he wins a national title as a walk-on in Michigan State. He's just able to will himself, goes into the private sector, makes billions, buys a team, immediately gets Kevin Durant, gets Chris Paul out of there, gets in Bradley Beal.
Look, man, I know he's on the prowl waiting for his...
Chad. Thank you, Han. He's a Giga Chad.
Yeah, I know he's on the prowl waiting for his next, the next player that's like, hey, I went out, and he's like, I have DeAndre Ayton.
It's
Here
like,
you go.
If things were to stay on pace... if it was like one of those math problems, like if this equals this, then what does this equal? Like, if you're able to get Bradley Beal, what I'm trying to say is he's about to trade DeAndre Ayton for the Joker. All right, that's the pace he's on right now. Now, obviously, he can't continue that pace.
I see a lot of Anthony Davis talk. Someone said trade Ayton for Anthony Davis. Nah, I don't want that. But actually, maybe I do want that because Anthony Davis is pretty good. He just another injury-prone player, though.
Tori, I'm not saying that players wanting to go to Phoenix. Well, yeah, it kind of is Ishbia's doing. Yeah, because he brought in Kevin Durant, and other players smell that like a shark smells blood, and they're like, title, payday, and we suspected that would happen, but never to this degree. So yes, pulling off, being the one who was willing to say, let me go ahead and rip that Mikal Bridges Band-Aid off, even though James Jones has it shut. Let me rip that bad boy off, and I'll take all the slings and arrows that come with it when he goes to Brooklyn and shows that he can be a star. I'll take all that for half a year, because I believe that this will some way lead to a title. And Bradley Beal, would you rather have Bradley Beal or Mikal Bridges?
Oh, man. I mean,
it's tough.
I know the correct answer is Bradley Beal.
It's just as good as getting Mikal Bridges back.
But Mikal Bridges was, the way, if you put it that way, sure.
You can't get Mikal Bridges back.
Yeah. P-Dog says, I want Cat. I don't look. No, we're probably not going to get Cat. This is probably a thing, but you know who I would take for a trade with Ayton?
I'd take Gobert.
I take Gobert too.
He becomes useless in the playoffs. Like, you can scheme him out of the playoffs.
Do you want that big man that's going to get rebounds and play defense and be a rim protector?
But you're forgetting the key ingredient.
What's the key ingredient?
It's, can Vogel fix Ayton?
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Let's just go. Here's my suggestion. If I was able to make the decision, it'd be tough. If I get a good offer for Ayton now, I'm moving him, and I mean depth. If I'm able to provide quality depth in exchange for Ayton, I would do it.
Burner.
But I wouldn't mind taking Ayton up to the trade deadline to see if he's revitalized Ayton or still simp Ayton.
Or you just said it best. Only Ayton can fix Ayton. I agree with that. And that's what I'm saying. It's all about attitude with him. And my thing is, if it was Monty Williams that caused the change in attitude and the change of effort, and if Vogel can get him to play better, fine. But, like Tori said, the only person who's going to fix him is Ayton. Because I get what he's saying. It's basically a mindset and an effort situation. So, I mean, hopefully a change of coach does it. But, we'll see. I don't know how to
we got 207 now watching, man. Welcome in, everybody. Please hit that like button for us as you get in here. Kirk says, I'm guessing Ayton to the Pelicans. We were together for that. That was the Bleacher. We put together on Bleacher Report a juicy Pelicans trade that gets us Valanciunas and Alvarado and Larry Nance and some savings. So check that out. Check that video out. Han Sagan says Ayton has the shortest 7'6" wingspan in history. $1.99 dono. Thank you, Han. Appreciate you.
Humble Rumble says Jay Crowder coming back.
Okay, I guess we're going there. Thank you, Rumble. What's going on? Can we talk about Crowder? Because ain't nobody been a bigger hater of Crowder than me. What do you think?
Yes.
What do you think about the
There's a lot of haters of Jay Crowder.
No, but what do you think about bringing him back? Because I feel like you can guarantee this dude ain't getting anything more than a minimum contract after the stinker of a performance he put up in
I agree with that. And guess what?
In
he
Milwaukee.
won't be starting. So, yeah, sure. Bring him on because he won't be starting.
Now, he has maintained this entire time that Suns fans have it twisted, and it was not about that, and it wasn't about losing his starting job to Cam Johnson. It was about, something else. And what if that something else is he hated Monty?
Bro, look, I don't like to speculate about that stuff. If he hated Monty, I don't like to speculate about this stuff, even though I made a video.
I've heard it as a rumor.
Speculated about
from
that
you.
Stuff, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I even though I made a video about me speculating about that stuff, but if he does come back and he seems fine, you have to sort of think about that, right? Like you have to. He says Tori says Crowder's washed. I mean,
you're not wrong.
We don't have a whole lot of,
but we are looking at filling out a roster with some minimums, and I don't think that I had very little respect for Crowder's game in the first place. I was kind of disrespectful. I like the way he passes. He's a really, really great passer for his position. But his shooting, I hated his I hated the way he felt like he had the ultimate green light, and he probably did from Monty. I hated it. Okay? But if you have a new coach who might come in and put the reins on that a little bit, I liked his defense. I liked the way he was our tough guy. He was the guy who stood up to LeBron when LeBron and them were clowning and shimmying and shit. He's the one that was our tough guy. We didn't have a tough guy. We've been talking about how last year we had no testosterone on the team.
Oh, baby Mallow, don't bring back those memories. Says Elfrid Payton, Justin Jackson, Aaron Holiday, and Nader. Welcome back to Phoenix.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I really don't. Especially if they move on from Ayton. But
we'll just have to see. I promise you, there'll be a lot of moves in this offseason for men that we're gonna be like, "What? We got that person on the men? What? We got that person on the men? No way, we got that person on the men." I promise you that's what's gonna happen. I just can't wait to see how the offseason goes, but that's what's gonna happen. Like there's gonna be a lot of those places where we're like, how, no way.
So somebody in here, Amzai says, is PJ Tucker available? He might be, and that's interesting because you put him in the same category as Crowder. But the thing with Tucker for me is I would love for him to come to the Suns and immediately start coaching. I'd love to have him as some sort of skills developer or something I don't know. But not playing. I'm done with PJ Tucker, bro. He is offensively, bro, washed. He can still get rebounds. He can still play a little bit of defense, but it would break my heart to see him come to the Suns and be clanking every three like he did with the 76ers.
If you could get TJ Warren back on the men, would you do it?
Yes.
If you can get Jock Lindell, which I don't think you can, because Jock Lindell,
I don't think you think he earned a payday?
Well, I don't think he did.
Let's ask Tori. Tori,
I think he's his whatever his was he a U? Sorry, was he restricted or not?
It was something like a minimum. I know that.
Right,
but
would you bring Jock back? Busy.
Both of them. Both of them.
You keeping Ish?
I won't squawk if they keep Ish.
Okay.
But I'm not, I'd love to move him for something better. Baby Moses Ish changed the culture.
I saw that, bro.
I don't think so.
We still have campaign.
Yes.
We don't have.
It is gone. We should be doing a whole stream just dedicated to Shamit getting out of here. We got out of that contract. Sorry, go on.
Just us watching Shamit highlights of him just being
low
awful
lights.
and us yelling.
Low
Shamit
lights.
Low lights.
Jimmy J says y'all
crazy.
need a Peyton Pritchard now. I'd love Peyton Pritchard. I'd love TJ McConnell, not just because they're both white. There's another player.
Exactly why you like them both.
Well, as long as the Wizards are burning their franchise to the ground, why don't they go ahead and let us have the cell phone number of DeLon Wright? Because Romp's been in my ear for a couple of weeks about doing a DeLon Wright video because he's just so perfect for the Suns. So I've been looking into him. He is 6'5". Great. He's Josh Okogie, who can dribble and shoot. For real. Can't leave him open and have him clank 7 for 8.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, I just feel like we're going to get some players. But back on this Beal trade. Back on it. Mm-hmm. How do you think he's going to fit in this team?
Woo! That's a friggin' fantastic question. Chat, first off, hit that like button for us, please. But can you guys tell us in the chat, who do you guys? How about a poll? How about a poll?
Yeah, pull it up.
Who's going to be running point guard, Booker or Beal? I mean, this is obviously
campaign.
What, you going to start campaign and put Book at the 3?
I'm just saying, put him on the list because those are your ball handlers right now.
I think that he will get 0 votes.
I mean, as of right now, you have 6 players on your roster. So campaign or Goodwin, your pick of who's starting on this team right now. So, yeah, go ahead. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like we only have 6 players.
Bro,
so
we have
your pick who's on the handle of the ball.
Like, this is crazy, right? It's not as incredible as getting Durant was, but it's kind of is because it was so out of the blue, bro. It was just so out of friggin' nowhere. It's like a rush, bro. A rush.
It's a good Father's Day gift.
Ain't it, though? Did everybody call their father?
It's a great Father's Day gift, you know.
Because all right, so who do you want at point guard? Who are you rocking with first? I'm going point Book. Here's why. He's been in this offense. Okay,
it's a new offense, Gabe. It's a new offense, Gabe. It's gonna be a new offense.
Is it?
Offense.
We still have Coach Kevin B. Remember? So it's a new defensive scheme.
We gotta stop calling him Kevin.
But it's gonna be largely the same offense, I would imagine.
I don't know. Not with all these assistants he's got in. I think it's gonna be different.
Book has been progressing to that point where he's been getting better at handling the ball and running the offense. I think you slide him to the one the way they did James Harden midway through his career. I never thought Devin Booker would be ready for that because his handles were atrocious. His handles were relegated only to be able to get off moves to score. Now his handles can evade double teams. He's really a lot better at passing out of double teams. If they're double teaming our point guard, that's not necessarily a bad thing because you're leaving either Beal or Kevin Durant wide the fook open. His passing kind of has always been low-key special. Not Luka special. That's godlike. This is just like regular human special at passing. He's ready. I think he's ready. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Just Book. I haven't seen enough of Beal to be like, hey, you're the point guard. I feel like Beal's gonna be the off ball. You let KD or Booker do the ball handling. Let Beal do his thing off ball. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm reading the chat.
Anything exciting? Tori says those guys would both play point guard. I think you're right. They're both going to be able to. If you look at the Nuggets, they don't have like a straight up special point guard. They run everything through Joker. They have Aaron Gordon bring the ball up a considerable amount.
Koopa Trooper says, what's the chance this team makes it out of the second? I'm going to assume you mean second round. 110%. If health willing, once again, we like to bring out our participation trophy. I love that meme that I posted. I love the meme that I posted in the Discord where it was it had the Suns banners on there and it said Division Championship Western Conference Finals and it says we beat the Nuggets twice in the semifinals. But listen to me right now. I love to bring that back up, but we were the only team, as Gabe likes to put, that put up 2 and could have been up 3-1 against the NBA champs. So do I think we make it out of the second round? Sure. I think if we don't run into the buzzsaw that we did again and we don't screw everything up in the middle of the regular season like we did. But yeah, I think we definitely do.
Can I just make a bold prediction, sir?
Go ahead.
I think, barring injury, the Suns are going to the finals next season. Well, here's the thing. Let me hold on. Give me a second here. Give me a second. And I probably stand by it.
Okay.
It would really be helpful if the Nuggets had some sort of slip up along the way.
Like baby Joker just doesn't care as much because he'd rather go play with his horses.
Yeah. That's fine.
like, oh, what? You mean I got to play hard in the playoffs and I want to go see my horses and play whatever he said he wanted to play. Like maybe he just doesn't want to, make it that far in the playoffs. He gives up. You talking about that sort of setback?
Anything that
because hear me out.
How about them getting their free agents picked off like vultures?
That could be possible, but
they're just not the same.
But hear me out. If this team comes back as constructed and then they add to it, they're going to be a problem. You know what I mean? And also, to Tori's point, we don't know the rest of the roster yet.
The rest of the roster is going to take care of itself.
I would hold off until, saying we're going to make the Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying, dog.
Now it's looking good so far. Like, it's looking great that you don't have to depend on CP3 being healthy. It's looking great that you don't have to depend on Ayton to be one of your main contributors on offense because, he just has a head case. It feels good knowing that you have KD for a full season to fit with this team. It feels good knowing you're going to have Book, hopefully healthy, knock on wood, and Bradley Beal. Like, that all feels great. But, who's going to be your point guard? Who's going to be your backup point guard? Who you bringing off the bench? Who's going to be your backup big? All that stuff. We don't have any of those answered at all. So until we get those answered, I can't give you for sure we're going to go to the Western Conference Finals. But am I hyped about this trade? Do I think we could because of this? Sure. Yes. And I will go
We're
on
going
that,
to the Western Conference Finals. And I think that if we had no Chris Paul versus the Nuggets, but we had Beal, no Chris Paul, no Shamet, but you have Beal, I think we win that series.
I think Beal gets
we
the
win that
right amount.
series.
I think Beal gets the right amount of buckets for us to win game 2. I don't know if we win this series, but game 2.
Oh, Kevin Durant, you don't have it tonight? You're shooting like the Monstars came down and sucked your talent out of your basketball paws? Oh, no problem. We've got Bradley Beal. Hey, Beal, go do your thing. 40. Yeah. These are superstars. 3.
I feel what you're saying, man, but still at the same time, like, and I saw somebody say the Nuggets only had, 8 players on the rotation. Yeah, but every single player in that rotation was good, really good, solid players. Like, so we still need to get depth. Like, everyone would say, oh, no worries, we only need 8. Now, they had 8, but all 8 of them was good, right? Like, all 8 of them was solid.
Okay.
So we need to get to that point with our bench.
How about this?
Let's just calm down.
Because
this? Once again, if Beal goes down, gets hurt, has to go out, we're going to be screwed a little bit. If Booker goes down, we're definitely going to be screwed for a little bit. Any of these big 3 get hurt and our bench is terrible, it's not going to bode well for us.
How about this, Daddy-O? And by the way, happy Father's Day, Sundo. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Thank you. And then tomorrow you better tell me happy Juneteenth as well.
Oh, believe me. I've got a whole...
Speaking of Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm. Let's not go on the topic of... Oh, that is dope. Show me that. What did that say? What, Black King?
Juneteenth, Black King.
I thought it said expensive Black King.
No, my buddy sent me all these stickers to be obnoxious.
How about this? When Durant came to the Suns, Monty was making a concerted effort to have Kevin Durant on the court or Devin Booker at all times.
All times.
How about a part of our depth not being such an issue, Tori, is that we'll easily be able to keep one of those 3 players on the court at all time. So you're starting them all, but you're staggering them, and you always have a generational scorer on the court.
All right, calm down on the generational score, but you're going to have a bucket getter on the court at all times.
I didn't say generational player, but I think all 3 of them are generational scorers.
Calm down.
Dude, you don't know Beal.
I know Beal, and I know him well enough to know he's not generational. He's really good.
He is.
Don't be throwing away that word around,
bro.
You know what I mean? Like, generational,
bro.
But
if Devin Booker was a 99, Beal is a 98 on offense.
Okay.
He's been stuck in obscurity. Stuck. And that's the only reason we don't think about Beal the way we think about Booker. Because if you swapped them, I think they would have had very similar careers, and people would have just been like, Jesus Christ, somebody get Booker out of Washington.
Who knows? But don't say generational scorer. Like, Beal's great. I don't know about generational.
You'll see.
Okay, well, I'll be glad to be wrong if he ends up being, the next coming of, I don't know, Scottie Pippen or whatever. But no. Don't
Tori will check me. Tori, Is Beal a generational scorer, or is that?
Oh my gosh!
Is that what the kids call cap? Oh shit! Tori's in the chat, but I don't have a 3-way setup. Tori, I could do it on the fly here.
Oh no, Tori's in the chat.
It's not gonna work. Well, I don't think it's gonna work.
Have him in the chat without having his face on it. Just have him be a special guest with his voice.
Let me see what'll happen here. Okay, this will work. All right. But this is weird. It's got the Nuggets logo on it. This is weird. This is too weird.
I'll front run.
Front run.
What do you have to say to the chat?
Tell him, Tori. Tell him the generational talk is too much.
Yeah, I heard generational score for Bradley Beal, and I just had to jump in the stream.
I didn't say generational player. I said scorer, which means once in a generation type of scorer for your franchise, not overall, but your franchise every once in a generation gets a scorer of his caliber. Now
he's the spin master. Now he's the spin master. Now he's got to spin it.
Well, I just want to ask something. So, like, is it to the point where you just do not care about the defense at all? Is like, just defense doesn't matter?
See, I was getting ready to bring that point up.
Have we talked about the defense at all during this stream?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you could have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, would you honest to God say, well, I don't believe there'll be enough defense?
No. I mean, you obviously take the trade. But Gabe, like, getting too far ahead of yourselves talking like finals or whatnot. I mean, it's just going to depend on how you fill out the rest of the roster.
Back to the conference finals because I respect the Nuggets.
Yeah. Y'all just need some defense. Like,
thank you.
Like, there's going to be players that ring chase, but how many players are going to be guys that won't hurt you on one side of the ball? Because
Booker doesn't hurt you on that side of the ball anymore.
I'm talking about minimum signings. I'm talking about like ring chasers, you know? Because I don't think you want Booker to be your best perimeter defender and your best offensive player probably next year, in my opinion. Because being that number one perimeter defender takes a lot of energy. Booker needs that energy for offense. So that's
he's also going to be running point guard.
Yeah. So you're asking him a lot. And then if it's a situation where your offense has to be great to win in the playoffs, like I think Phoenix needs defensive pieces. Phoenix needs a guy in the starting lineup to defend the best player. And the problem is with Beal and Booker is either you're going to start one of them at the point, and that's going to be a small forward, that's your perimeter defender, or you're going to play Booker at the 2 and 3, and that's going to be your point guard. The problem is your point guard probably isn't big enough to guard anything except for guards. So you're looking at Booker and Beal is your starting guards, and then you need to find a small forward who's going to come in and lock things down. You also probably want that guy to shoot so you can space the floor more for your big three.
Watanabe.
He's not a defender, bro. He's not a good defender. I like him. He can shoot, but he's not a good defender. So that's my question is like, how do they fill that role? If you find a good 3-and-D guy, like what Crowder used to be, then you're sitting pretty. But
so
I'd be worried as a Suns fan, like it would become a situation where your offense has to be perfect night in, night out.
Like it was last season?
Yeah, because if you bring in a guy like a Watanabe and he starts, your defense is even worse than it was in the playoffs last year. Because at least you had a Kogi or Craig starting in the playoffs last year. Now it'd be Booker, Beal, and Watanabe or whatever. You don't have a single guy that can defend a star.
Bev,
so that's
Pat Bev. Go get me Pat Bev.
Hell to the nah.
That's my question is like, who is that guy for Phoenix? Because I think that's what is needed.
Hey, look, CP3 is no longer here, Gabe. We need Pat Bev.
No.
He's no longer here. We need Pat
Bev. No.
Gabe. Pat Beverly's coming to the Suns.
Bro, there are options. There are better options than that out there. All right. I'd rather just roll with campaign. All right.
Don't you disrespect the great Pat Beverly like that.
I will disrespect the F out of that dude. I
don't
cannot
disrespect
stand him.
Pat Beverly. Han says Watanabe defends well. Tori.
Yeah,
Why did he
Tory.
fall out of the rotation in Brooklyn? Because he was
Because
knocking down
Mikal
threes all
Bridges
year.
got there.
Yeah,
And
but they had enough minutes
Campaign.
for them. They had enough minutes for him, bro. I don't know. I've
Not for that haul that they
I
got.
don't think he's
they
a good
didn't.
defender. I think he's okay. I don't think he's bad, but
Look, give me
he's
Watanabe.
off the bench. Watanabe would be perfect.
That's what
I
we're
just don't
saying.
think he should.
We don't
Yeah,
want him to
off the
start.
bench, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
we're not
who's
gonna-
starting. Who's the fifth starter? Is my question. Because you need somebody that can not hurt you offensively and can defend.
Bayambo.
What? You said Bismack Biyombo?
He's going to be your starting three.
Oh, we're looking for a forward.
Yeah.
not a big.
We're looking for
Well,
we're looking for
it is.
a 3
Yeah.
or 4,
So,
bro.
Craig, bring back Craig. Craig, we need you.
That's probably what it will be.
Craig,
Yeah.
but you said Craig played himself out of a min.
Out of what?
A min.
Oh,
Yeah, but you
he's
guys have
already
his
been
bird
out.
rights. You guys can resign him for whatever. 'cause
Explain
he's
how
around free
we
agent.
get him.
You guys have his bird rights, so you can pay him whatever.
Yeah.
The question was, the
we can
question
lowball him
before-
and he can't do anything about it.
No, like he can sign wherever he wants to, but you guys could pay him $10 million a year and bring him back.
Even if
he's
it
your own
went
free
over the
agent, 'cause-
cap.
Yeah, because you have bird rights on him. The thing is with like freeing up the mid-level exception was that limits your salary. So paying Craig made it harder to open up a mid-level exception. But at this point, you're not worried about opening up a mid-level exception because you just traded for more salary. You didn't save money. You traded for Bradley Beal. So now the salary is going to be so high regardless that it becomes minimum signings in your own free agents, which you can, at least with Craig, you can re-sign him for whatever. You could hypothetically sign him to a max contract.
So Craig and Jock have bird rights for both of them.
I'm not sure on Jock if you guys have bird rights or not, but I know I think you have it on Craig. I'll have to check. Let me check.
If we had bird rights on Jock, yes, I would feel way more comfortable. Even though Jock got bodied by Joker, but who doesn't?
Han said Suns getting Oubre. The only way I could see them getting Oubre is if they're able to get a trade and send DeAndre Ayton out. I love, obviously, Oubre to death, and I believe in him as a defender. He's not known as like a lockdown, but when he was here, him and Mikal were insane on defense together.
Dig says Boogie Cousins minimum contract incoming. No.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Gabe, you guys have early bird rights on Torrey Craig, which means you can sign him for up to about $12 million. $11-12 million over, while staying over the cap, obviously. Anything
like
beyond that, you
that.
can't sign him to. So you should be able to keep him.
I like it. Keep Craig.
Craig's staying.
Tell me about Jockey Jock.
Jock is restricted early bird rights as well, which means you can re-sign him for up to about the same amount.
Keeping Jock.
We're keeping Jock.
Keeping Jockey, okay?
Busy's gotta go. Sorry, Busy.
I mean, Busy should be, again, a very cheap contract. Why would he want to leave? He doesn't need to leave. He's a perfect fit. And I don't think he has a huge market out there of people clamoring for Bismack. What do you think?
I think the question becomes, can you trade Ayton for that starting three? Are you comfortable doing that if it's the right starting small forward and then starting Biyombo and having a center rotation of Biyombo and Landale? Because you're not going to be asking your centers to do a whole lot. Just play some solid defense at the rim.
We're asking go out there and just be better than Cody Zeller. That's it. Your biggest competition will be Cody Zeller.
Had to take the shots.
Zenith says keep Okogie. I'm 100% giving Okogie at least one more year to see if he can't progress on that spark of offense that he was showing for a while and then completely fell flat.
Yeah, the problem is
Baisley. No, I don't. Baisley, big raise for trade or keep.
If Baisley if he's able to get a contract somewhere else, he's gone. Like if someone else wants him for, MLE, he's gone.
Look, Hey, 9 Omzi, don't tempt me with a good time. He says Ayton to Charlotte for Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. Do not tempt me with a good time.
That
Do
still
not.
no defense. Still no defense.
Yeah, that's so much money. That's crazy. I mean, you guys could go the route of just trying to put 150 on the board every game, but
At this point, why not, bro? But yeah, I agree with you totally. Like, that's my biggest concern is just defense, and like how we're gonna string that together is beyond me. I saw somebody say in the chat, let's see here, who was it? Mitchell Wren says y'all should have traded for expiring contracts and built depth. Beal's contract will be untradeable. Well, I mean, he's got no trade clause, so yeah, it will be untradeable. But
How many years does he have on his contract?
4 years left.
Woof.
So we have Booker, KD,
I mean,
and
he's only
Beal
31.
all on 4 year.
He's
deals.
only
He's
31.
He's 29.
29?
Beal's 29, bro.
I thought he was 31.
No, he's 29. That's what I'm saying.
came
We got
into the league super
significantly
young.
younger with this trade. So,
Bro.
but like, I think the goal here is to have, in my thinking, what I'm thinking is what Ishbia and the GM are thinking is we need to have 4 solid players, or not 4, solid 3 solid players locked in for multiple years and build around them. And I think that's what they're just going with, which means we believe at some point Ayton's got to go. That's just my line of thinking. But can they get rid of him? Probably not, because he's a bum and he's played his way out of.
They can get rid
one's
of
favorite.
him. They can get rid of him.
I will say this about an Ayton trade is what you're looking at, because I feel like what the Suns would have otherwise looked at if Beal wasn't available would have been saving money and using the mid-level exception. Now, with going all in with Beal, you could hypothetically trade Ayton for more salary since you're not going to open up the mid-level exception. So I think more options become available in that scenario since you're able to take back more salary, and it might make it easier for that trade to happen since Ayton's already such a bad contract that if a team is at least saving some money, it makes them more willing to do it. So I think it might be a little easier to find something for Ayton.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to say earlier. Like, I hope that's what we do is find a team that's willing to take on Ayton and give us just some decent contracts of 2 or 3 players that we like. That's what I'm hoping. Like, I'm not hoping a whole lot out of the Ayton deal. I'm just hoping that some good value and some wings and some decent dudes that can hit buckets. That's it.
Capella and DeAndre Hunter would be interesting.
I like that.
And DeAndre Hunter could maybe be that small forward.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't think Atlanta does that, but I didn't think Washington would do this. So.
Exactly.
So I don't know. At this point, it seems like you guys can pull off miracles and walk on water.
Ishbia.
At the same time, Tori, I don't get it.
He said it himself.
Dude, if you think about it this way, it's insane that not only do we get off of none of it makes sense. We got off of Shamit's bizarro
contract.
Monty's bizarro world contract that he thought he was worth. We got off of that, and we got off of Chris Paul's like once in a lifetime strong arming. I've said this before, it has been a while, but Daryl Morey was quoted as saying that when he got to the Rockets and he looked at Chris Paul's contract, he'd never seen a more one-sided contract in the favor of a player. He said it was just unbelievable.
Well, he was the union president,
right?
So
when we got him, not only did we pay him that contract as well, we upped it. And we just turned that into Bradley Beal?
I mean, I look at this Beal move as more of a free agent signing in a way because of his no trade clause. It was basically like, oh, Beal's a free agent, decided to sign here, but they have to sign and trade for him. So whatever you get back is basically all that you can get back. It almost, in terms of like functionality, it almost was a free agent signing. Beal wanted to go to Phoenix. Washington didn't have any control over where they could send him. So they basically just had to take back whatever. Without that no trade clause, I do not think Bradley Beal is a Phoenix Sun. I think there would basically
No, I know. I agree. It was like planets aligning for a crazy situation, a trade R word to just happen. Mm-hmm. You know, you scratching your forehead says everything. That's body language that says, Jesus Christ.
No, it really
How
is.
did this?
Lie, yes.
Yeah, your body, your brain was like trying to comprehend this shit, and it manifested itself in blood rushing to your forehead, and you're like, Jesus Christ, the Suns.
Well, I can figure out what the Wizards were thinking, man. I just they just had to say, look, bro, it's over. Time to start over and hit that reset button. That's the only line I'm thinking.
Planets just aligning, exactly, bro.
There's no way you take on CP3 because you're not going to win with him being your point guard, and you're definitely Shaman's not going to be anything. So they're definitely going to be cutting him. He's going to be going somewhere else, and Shaman's getting traded to the Pistons. Because you know, Monty's like, give me Sherman, I'll give you Cade Cunningham, something stupid like that, bro. Just wait.
Yeah, watch. That's how they're gonna make this a good trade. They're gonna get back like Alec Burks for Landry Shamet, who's just a better
something
Landry
crazy is gonna happen because you know Monty loves Shamet, and that's what's gonna happen. I promise you. Get ready for it.
Washington should have just traded Beal like 2 years ago. It made no sense to give him that contract, hang on to him, but also give him a no freaking trade clause in that contract.
They were just
you don't give no trade. Well, that's the thing though. It's like he's already being paid so much. Like that's such an insane. It's a super max. Like I don't think they had to give him a no trade clause. I think they just threw it in there like whatever, and then they got screwed because of it. I just thought it was really bad foresight by Washington. And it's like, if you get yourself into such a position where that's all you're getting back, then at that point, just play hardball. Like
bad
the Brooklyn
foresight,
Nets
great
did.
foresight by his agent.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, his agent is the son of who?
The Suns CEO, right?
Yes.
So
that's how this deal came together, bro.
Tori, we got a romp tweet on the screen, not the other one, but this one says, y'all realize CP3 will just sign back with the Suns on a veteran minimum. CP3 on that value is crazy for any team. Is that possible?
Is that possible? No. I thought it wasn't possible now he's been traded.
Tori the T-God will know.
If Washington just cuts him because they can't flip him to another team, and he doesn't want to be there. So if they just buy him out, he cannot come back to the Suns for an entire year. I think the rule is if a player gets traded and then gets bought out, he can't go back to the team that just traded him. So if he gets traded from Washington to like another team that then buys him out, I think in that scenario, it may be possible. But I know for a fact if Washington buys him out, then he can't return to the Suns.
Bro, if he gets traded one more time, it ends up back in the sun. Bro, you just have to be like,
would you rule it out? Would you rule it out at this point?
I mean, I would say there's at least a 99% chance the Phoenix Suns don't have Chris Paul next year. Because why would a team trade for him just to buy him out? I guess if they're saving some money for another guy that they'd buy out, it's just there's not many bad contracts in the league anymore. It's not like it was 4 years ago when you had all the contracts from 2017.
You heard it here first, folks. So. CP3's getting traded in the next 3 days. That team will buy him out, and he will be a Phoenix Sun.
If you asked if I can roll it out, I'm never ruling anything out with the Phoenix Suns again. Okay?
Never.
Crazy. Dude, this is wild. What if I told you that Matt Ishbia foresaw all this and is like just making all of this happen?
Maybe he's a time traveler, bro.
Maybe, but like I said, they're gonna figure out how to bend the rules, and it looks like they're bending them right now, dude. This is crazy.
Somebody, maybe it was in the chat or maybe it was on Twitter, said a side benefit of this new harsh CBA is there's going to be more buyout candidates because people have to just cut bait with things that they can't afford anymore. And here the Suns are turning their it's like taking recyclables, putting them in the machine, and then it pops out a Porsche.
Here's the
pops out a Porsche,
and you're like, oh shit, all right, I'll take it. Just doing my part.
Man, Burner says Ishbia is playing 5D chess, bro. Man.
Here's the problem. Like, I see a comment that says the new CBA will really benefit the Suns. I hear. I absolutely do not think that's the case. Because once free agency starts, there's a bunch of new restrictions that go in place for teams in the super tax, and Phoenix is going to be in the super tax. You guys are going to test the new CBA, but like one of the rules is you can't sign a buyout candidate who was making more than like the average salary when they got bought out. So if you got a player making 16 million that gets bought out after free agency starts, Phoenix can't sign them if they're in the super tax. So that's the whole thing where, I mean, if a player gets cut, their money stays on the books anyway. It can get stretched out and reduced because of that. But I don't see a ton of players getting bought out because of the super tax. It's possible, but I don't see a lot of it happening. But the players that do are going to be making more than that average salary, so Phoenix won't be able to sign them. There's a bunch of new weird rules that will restrict what Phoenix can do in terms of adding players, in terms of trades. Matching salary becomes a lot harder. You can't combine players in trades after free agency starts in order to match something. So basically, it's Phoenix has to make all their trades happen now. Like if they're going to trade DeAndre Ayton, it has to happen before the start of free agency, in my opinion. And then it's how many guys can you get on minimum contracts that can help you? How many legitimate free agents, not
Yuta.
high money. Yuta's a legitimate free agent. So off that sheet I gave you, Gabe, like how many of those guys can you get and which ones make sense? Because the new CBA goes into effect at the start of free agency, and it's going to be tough after that to do anything except for sign minimum contract players.
Yeah, I was watching a video. Who was it? Bobby Marks basically said, yeah, to where exactly said like if they don't make any trades before free agency hits, the Suns are basically married to this roster. That's what he said. Like you have now made your bed with the roster that you have right now, other than veteran minimums. But if you don't make any more deals before free agency starts, it's basically this is what you got. So. Yep. So that's why I said in the chat, like we gotta trade Ayton's. I feel like Ayton's gotta get traded like ASAP. If he doesn't, then we're gonna be stuck with him for a while. Because I think he said something even after the fact. I think he said even after free agency starts and after the fact, trading Ayton even at the deadline is going to be really, really hard to do. Guys, so it's gotta happen like ASAP.
Meanwhile, we got 250 in here watching. Thank you everybody for coming to hang out and talk about this stuff with us. We've got Tori the Cap God, and not like Cap God like he lies a lot, but it does work both ways.
The capologist.
All right, so let's start calling him that. And he's in here. Thank you, Tori, for explaining this CBA to us.
Cap God, double meaning.
CBA definitely not our forte. Any chance the Suns are able to get Kuzma or DeLon Wright? I know you're a DeLon Wright fan.
Yeah, in this trade.
Not in this trade, but just now that that's done, because it looks like they're kind of giving up everything.
For DeLon Wright, if you traded Campaign, you could match his salary with Campaign's. But the problem is why would Washington trade DeLon Wright for Campaign? And why wouldn't that have been included in this original
trade? They already would have done that.
So guys on Washington, I would not be looking at, because you would assume that they would have just been thrown into this trade because it would have been easier. But Kuzma's a free agent, I think, or I think he has a player option that he's going to decline,
and he wants out already.
Yeah, so and I think he's just
dude. He flirts with us so hard, bro. He knows we want him, and we know he wants us. He wants it. You can tell when you look at him, he wants it, is what I'm trying to say. Am I wrong, Sundo? Anyway, like, how do we get Kuzma? Is that going to be an impossibility?
Basically.
Unless he gets entered into this deal, yeah.
No. Well, he's not going to get entered into the deal. I mean, it seems like it's done now.
That's the only way it's going to happen. Well, no, because they keep saying they're working on it.
The other way it could hypothetically happen is if he signed a minimum. I don't think he wants you that bad. He'd have to give up $20 million next year to come on a minimum. If that happens, I just don't even know what the NBA is anymore, because he's way too good to sign a minimum.
Way too good.
yeah, I've never seen a player that good sign a minimum
No,
ever in their
no.
prime. So, I mean, here's the thing: is you don't have an MLE because you're going to be on the super tax. So it's just minimum contracts. Otherwise, you can trade for guys, but with him, he would be edited into this deal. So once this deal goes through, I would assume that anybody on the Wizards that is still on the Wizards is ungettable.
Okay.
And then any free agents of that caliber are ungettable.
So we got some Kuzma no takers in here. We got Epic Thunder, and Ben Hernandez says he's a brick machine. Listen, 2 years ago even, I would have agreed. I didn't like Kuzma at all, but as of the last year and in Washington, period, he's changed. Dude is a bucket. His handles are much upgraded from what he was in Los Angeles. I hated him because he was a Laker. I hated him because of his hair, right? A little bit of hair envy. But I hated him because of his outfits. But he's a bucket. He's a what do you think, Tori? Am I wrong? Is he not
you're actually
incredible now compared to what he used to be?
He's better. The problem is his 3-point shot still is not good. It's still below average. He was
Okay.
33% from three last year. So defensively, he's okay, I guess. I don't know. Like, doesn't really scream good or bad to me. He's a guy that will get shots up. I just don't know how good of a fit he is with a bench. You know, if you were hypothetically able to get him on a minimum, you obviously do that because he's very, very talented. I wouldn't just say no to him. It just depends on like what that would look like. If he was a third in the trade, you'd absolutely have to say yes to a player of that caliber, considering your alternative options are not good.
Right.
He's the thing is that he's improved a lot. He's a much better like decision maker and passer than he used to be. So I think he could fit next to stars a little bit better than he did in LA, where he was trying to establish himself as the star. That's the vibe I always got from watching him play as a Laker. So like he'd be fine. It's just he's not really gettable.
What do you think? And I know you helped me out with that trade process, so you might like this. What do you think, and Sundo, what do you think about that Ayton for Turner and little white boy?
TJ McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever at this point, you know.
Oh, you think we're done making moves?
No. I think DeAndre Ayton's got to get moved. I think he will, but it's just, you know, we don't have a lot of leverage with Ayton. And Tori, let me ask you this, because I know that there's a rumor that he's going to the Mavs. I don't see how.
Mavs are the betting favorite in Vegas.
But how do you see it? Yeah, I'm seeing like Bulls or Mavs are on the list. Like, how do you even see that happening?
It just seems like one of those rumors that could just be people speculating that Ayton would make sense for the Mavs, but they're not actually interested. I haven't seen anything that would say to me like, oh, they're for sure interested in Ayton. But Dallas is a team in kind of a desperate position with Kyrie being a free agent, maybe leaving. Like they traded all the rest of their assets for him. They're just in a tough spot. So I could see Phoenix potentially being able to fleece Dallas, and Dallas has the 10th pick. I just don't think a team's going to give up a lottery pick for Ayton. I don't think he has value like that.
Okay,
so.
How about this? How about under these circumstances? The thing that was floated was, they're going to give you Josh Green. They're going to give you, what was the rest of that? Hardaway, Green, and the 10th pick. What if we greatly reduced it so it's like the 10th pick and not those great players, something more like Bertans, take some junk off their hands, but get the 10th pick and offload the money a little bit.
I think
would they do that?
I mean, I can't say no. I think in any trade where you get the 10th pick, you're fleecing though. I think in any trade where you get the 10th pick, you're fleecing. I just think you're basically moving off a bad contract in Ayton. I think you can replace enough of what you need from the center spot. Like I said earlier, you just need a guy that's going to finish and a guy that's going to rebound and a guy that's going to play defense. You can get that for a lot cheaper. It's not going to be as big of a name, but the drop-off I don't think is necessarily going to be huge, especially since Ayton, if anything, is going to get less touches now that you got Bradley Beal in there, and he doesn't have Chris Paul feeding him good looks around the rim. He doesn't have that pure point guard pick and roll duo anymore. So I think if you can get the 10th pick back, whether you then flip that pick for something or you draft with it, I just think it's a better asset than Ayton. I know a lot of Phoenix Suns fans don't agree with that or won't agree with that, but that's just my opinion. Because there's going to be somebody there at 10 that can help next year because this draft is loaded. I think you can get a player, and there's going to be a number of different players that could play different roles. You'll be able to kind of pinpoint a specific role that you need filled and draft somebody with that 10th pick that can help you win. I mean, just look at Denver. They got Christian Brown playing. He was the 21st pick last year. This draft is better. If you got the 10th pick, you can fill a spot, but also it's going to have trade value as well. So I think that would be the move to make, even if you don't get back great players, because at the very least, Bertans can kind of be your Watanabe off the bench. He's not as good of a shooter as Watanabe is, in my opinion, but he could give you some minutes, and you'd have to get back another player if that's Kleba or Dwight Powell or Tim Hardaway Jr. or whoever. That's going to be a guy that is a veteran that can chew up minutes as well and help you off the bench. So I think any trade with Dallas is going to be a win if it happens.
What about this trade? I popped it up on the screen. The trade that you and me came up with that one night. Doable? Any hate towards this trade? Instead of the Suns getting 10, they get 16 from the Jazz, and the Jazz get the 10th from the Mavericks. What do you think? Do you remember this one?
Yeah, I think it's better for Dallas, but I would do that in a heartbeat if I was Phoenix, because Reggie Bullock's that small forward we talked about, the guy that can knock down threes and the guy that can play some defense. He's that 3-and-D guy that they would need as a starter. And then the 16th pick, you could still get a guy that could help next year and still trade it for something else. So then you're filling out your depth a little better.
See, we have options, Tori. It's not all doom and gloom since we got Beal. Okay? It's not all doom and gloom.
Kirk Royce in the chat says, ask Tori about Ayton to the Blazers.
He just leaves.
My guy bounces. Oh, that's great.
How about this? How about I repackage that question to something a little bit more palatable?
Okay. I can't wait to hear this.
I know you don't think that the Porzingis thing is going to go through, but who would you rather have, DeAndre Ayton or Porzingis, seeing as how both centers have been linked to the Blazers, and they're having conversaciones?
According to who? I mean, I take
people
Porzingis,
who know.
People
okay.
who know, huh?
Sources.
You take Porzingis after all that hate that I've been getting my whole life for being a Porzingis fan. From
Porzingod. You used to call him the Porzingod.
Have I hated on you for liking Porzingis? I don't remember.
Everyone has. Because
I don't think I did.
Who likes Porzingis fans?
Gabe, Diego sends me a $1 cash app.
Read it off.
It says, hold on, I disappeared. Give me all that thick sundo. So
that's very graphic. It's not, but it is.
I know.
So,
Diego's really been out of pocket these last few days.
He's showing out in front of Burner on purpose. Tori, so you can unequivocally say that the Blazers are not going to make a misstep this offseason. They are going to never give us anything for DA, and they're not going to give anyone anything for Porzingis.
Bro, I don't know what you guys... I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what miracles you guys can pull off. You guys could absolutely fleece Joe Cronin. I could see Joe Cronin getting fleeced by James Jones at this point, and Matt Ishbia.
It's Matt Ishbia.
Like,
it's not James Jones. It's Matt Ishbia.
I can't rule anything out. As much as I can guarantee something, I can guarantee that the Suns are not getting the 3rd pick for DeAndre Ayton. Okay? But, I mean, I could see Nurkic and Little and, another piece and the 23rd pick for Ayton.
I'll take it.
I mean, I wouldn't be a fan of that as a Blazer fan, but at least it wouldn't be completely disgusting. I don't want Ayton for anything just because of his contract, and our owner's cheap. So I don't think he's that much of an upgrade over Nurkic. And honestly, Nurkic in Phoenix would be maybe just as good as Ayton, man, because the one thing that Nurkic does really well is he sets amazing screens. If you have Booker and Beal and Kevin Durant, and you got a dude who might set the best screens in the league to get them space, and then he can also pass the ball a little bit, like from top guard.
I think DA sets pretty good screens. He just doesn't roll off of them hard and can't catch the ball off of them.
That's also kind of a Nurkic problem.
I found a tweet from a real big shot, a Twitter big shot, and a YouTube big shot named Tory Jones. And he retweeted a Josh Robbins saying, guard Jordan Goodwin has been told he's likely included. Blah, blah, blah. It's just saying that the Suns get Jordan Goodwin. And Tory Jones, this bigwig, they call him the cap god because he knows everything about the cap, says, big time under the radar get. What do you think he meant by that?
Tell us about my boy from St. Louis.
So by all accounts, he's a pretty good defender. I obviously haven't watched much Washington Wizards basketball, so I don't know how
Bridges good,
but there are fans acting like he's a pretty good defender. He's a guy that didn't shoot the ball great, but I mean, my whole thing with Phoenix is you got to find guys that can defend the perimeter. Being able to just get a guy thrown in that's cheap on a minimum, a guy that a lot of Wizards fans seem to keep, and a guy that can play some defense at the point guard spot is a win. Now, he played 2 games in 2021, 2022, like was on a 2-way contract, G League guy. But then last year played in 62 games, averaged 6.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Shot decent inside the arc, didn't make many mistakes, averaged less than a turnover per game in 18 minutes. So he's a guy that just seems like solid, can hopefully become a better 3-point shooter, but at the very least is going to come in, not make mistakes, and play some defense. And that's what you guys need with these minimum contracts. So I thought it was a good get.
Hear me out, Gabe. This is what he is. He is a can't go back all-star, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean by can't go back all-star?
I know. Does Tory know?
I don't know.
Tory, do you know what I mean by can't? No. He can't go back to the G League. He can't go back. He's a can't go back all-star, which means this man will play his heart out to not go back to the G League and not have to go back to the hood and not have to go back to St. Louis. I promise you. So this man will come in and give us maximum effort. That's what I like about this guy. And he's got the St. Louis connection to your boy Beal.
Tory,
he's a can't go back all-star. That's what we need. We need a bunch of can't go back all-stars on this team. That's what we need with all these signings. Can't go back all-stars.
That's what Busy seemed like, but Busy was just, we got him because of his dad.
Busy was building wells. Busy was doing good work in the Congo. Chill out.
Building wells.
Digging wells. That was the wrong person.
Like the people in Congo can't drink, don't have fresh water. All right.
Hey, bro. You don't know that. Anyway, keep going.
With this guy, Jordan Goodwin, Tory, do you see any ceiling for him to make it to being a starter in the NBA someday?
Can't go back.
Is starting out of the question?
If his defense is as good as it sounds like, and he can knock down a higher percentage of threes, there's no reason why he couldn't start in like a Pat Bev role.
How big and girthy is he?
Basketball Reference has him at 6'3". I can look up his legitimate measurements.
6'3", about 275.
275? No, he's not ish.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you guys, that's where that name is familiar. You guys had him on a 10-day.
We did?
Yeah, that's what Aeromancer was saying.
Did we? I don't remember. Dude, we've recycled so many different players that I don't even remember at this point.
Mm.
If I don't remember if a dude's been on our team, like that shows you how much we've just recycled guys. I can't find like any like combine measurements on him, so I don't know exactly what he is. He might be a little shorter than 6'3", but
Well, Zenith says 6'3" with a 6'10" wingspan. Jeez. What about standing reach, Zenith? The only thing that Tori respects is standing reach.
Trevin was talking about Skylar Mays. Honestly, that would be an under-the-radar guy for you guys to look at.
Skylar Mays?
Dude, he just came in and we were tanking, so you can't read too much into it, but he looked so solid. Like, he just looked like a dude that is one of those can't-go-back all-stars, you know?
Can't go back, man. That's what we need on this team. Can't go back all-stars. That's exactly what you need on the squad.
Any idea if Archie Goodwin's related to Jordan Goodwin? Because I will lose my shit if he is.
I mean...
Tell me he's a cousin. Tell me he's a cousin.
There's probably a lot of good wins.
Third cousin.
So...
We're big on nepotism around here, okay?
Man, speaking of nepotism,
he could have been
has nothing to do with what I'm going to say. Diego sends me another $1 Cash App. It says, "Hey Thickums, have you been liking my little messages?" This guy Diego has been sending
He's
me
a perv, bro.
During the
He's groping you. He's sending you money and groping you.
This man has been. I have had to refund every single Cash App he sent me in the off season, dog. Just had to refund every single one
because it's making you uncomfortable now. It's to the point where you don't want the money.
It's the point that it's the off season. Like, what are we doing? Like, this man, like he sent me one Friday. It says "Sundo in my guts." Like, come on, bro.
No,
bro.
out of nowhere, he said that.
Yeah, I just sitting there.
Whoa!
Whoa! This guy Diego out here just being. I don't even know. He's obscene, bro.
Burner, I need to apologize to you. You are like the nicest, most like quality human being in the world compared to this. Like your sus tweets and jokes, you seem like, you know, the milkman in the 50s, just so polite, so calm. That is
Diego out here sending me Cash Apps during the off season. Just like I'll be sitting there at work. I'll just be sitting there at work, and all of a sudden here comes a Cash App. What is happening? What is happening?
That is wild.
Super wild, bro.
Wild. Woof. All right.
Burner says I just wanted feet pics.
Now, how does that play into the cap, Tori?
Yeah, how does Sendo in my guts play into the cap?
Yeah, how much are your feet picks worth?
About as much
Apparently
as
a lot.
Veteran minimum contract.
Apparently, he could do well.
Oh my goodness! I saw that there's like this platform for that now. So I don't know. Maybe that's a business opportunity for you.
Like, I mean, I gotta be honest. If I'm old school. I'd usually be a little judgmental of those sorts of things. If someone's gonna pay you for pictures of your feet and you don't have to show anything other than your feet, like, I got a real issue telling you that you're doing something wrong by doing that. I mean, that's like being like, hey, there's a pile of cash on the ground. Should I pick it up? It's kind of on the same level. What do you think about feet pics while we're on the topic?
We're talking about feet pics, bro. Wow.
Well, we are now.
Why? Real quick break. Talking
Is it
about
wrong?
feet pics.
Is it wrong?
Yo, Diego sends a $2 super chat. Read it, Gabe.
He says, "Don't call me a pervert, Gabe. Send me your Cash App." Well, now I can get
Gabe
in the cash
is such
loop.
a boomer. He doesn't have a Cash App. He has Venmo though.
I might have Cash App too. I might have it.
Oh my gosh. He's gonna send you polite Cash Apps too, like you're the best man. Do you have a great day, King, bro? Talking just like being super nice.
Keep up the hard work.
Yeah, keep up the hard work.
Can see you've been grinding.
Yeah, just being super nice to you, and he's just sitting Sundo in my gut. Come on, bro.
God damn.
Burner, I'm not gonna be a part of this, bro.
Yes,
I'm not into
be.
feet. I'm not even into my own feet. Okay, so
God
no,
damn.
I'm not gonna answer that question.
Oh man, all right, let's get back to
All
NBA
right,
talk. We're losing viewers
moving
in
on
a
from
hurry.
feet. How much do you think Jordan Goodwin's feet pics would be worth?
Oh my goodness, no answer.
Oh, did you say Jordan Goodwin?
Yeah, no, just kidding, JK. All right. what else is there really to say about this? The Suns got over hard. All right.
They did.
Suns got over. Tori's upset, but he's doing a great job hiding it. I'm really proud of you. No, I'm just playing.
Bro, like I don't know how much better this necessarily is going to be over the alternative, like open up the MLE and just getting real solid role players in depth.
Right.
Like, so as a Blazer fan, here's the thing. Like, one, I'm not sure how much better it is, and it's going to be fascinating to watch. So I like that this happened, to be honest with you, because it's just going to be fascinating to watch you guys during the season and see this experiment, because there's fit questions, but it's a talented team, so it'll be fun. But then also, as a Blazer fan, I do not have the capacity to worry about anybody else other than my own freaking team, because we got our own set of issues and
got a lot of
things
irons
to worry
in the
about.
fire.
Yeah, so I can't even I don't care about Western Conference team being good, because at this point we can't worry about anyone other than ourselves, and I'm kind of scared. So,
well, I understand that. I mean, they're saying that Dame is as good as a Miami Heat. You hear that?
Yeah, one day they'll say that, and one day they'll say that he's staying in Portland, and we're just gonna go back and forth, and it's exhausting. So,
He says it's exhausting. Well, Gabe, after this, Gabe, let me ask you this question: what is your hope that we do? What do you hope our next move is? Just a bunch of veteran minimums and free agency?
First things first. We gotta get our K-pop star in here.
Yuta. Okay, first off, first of all, it's a little racist. You got to go with J-pop, all right? If you're gonna say,
all right, is J-pop a thing though?
Yes, J-pop and K-pop are two different things.
I didn't know. I'm not familiar with J-pop. We got to get our J-pop star in here.
Get our J-pop star in here, okay?
All right.
So you want Yuta first.
That's number one.
All right, number one is Yuta, okay. But before that, do you want Ayton gone or no?
If a package presents itself that could help us get the depth that we forewent with the Beal thing, yes.
Okay.
And then
that's possible.
And then get the glomerons, those that are like, hey, my name's Jeff Green. I know I'm 50, but I never stopped being able to play. Can I come play for a title? You know, them types.
Diego says, tell Gabe that I believe in him and I'm always here.
Thank you. You're always so kind, Diego.
But no, like, okay. I truly hope that they figure out something with Ayton to get us some depth, get a replacing the big man, and get us a 3-and-D wing. That's my hope. Really, that's genuinely my hope. That's what I hope they do with him. I don't know if that's going to be happening, but that's really what I want. You find a replacement big man that's going to be solid and do the dirty work that we want, and get a 3-and-D wing, and I will be happy with that. I don't need a whole. So
you don't want Jock and Busy?
I do want Jock and Busy still. What I'm saying is, when you trade Ayton, what I want to get out of that is at least a replacement starter big man for him and a 3-and-D wing. That's it. I don't want anything else. I don't want anything crazy. That's literally all I want.
It's not bad. Tori, what do you think the Suns should do next?
I think they should identify what types of players they want in certain spots in the rotation. So starting small forward that can do A and B, right? A starting small forward that can defend and shoot threes, and then have a target list for that spot in the rotation. And then off the bench, maybe you're looking at a 3-point specialist, like a shooter, somebody that can come in, space the floor for your stars, knock down threes, and then have a list of minimum guys that they can sign in free agency to fill that spot. Basically, they just need to figure out how they want to build out their team in terms of what skill sets they want where, and then try and identify guys that would fill those spots and then go into free agency with that sort of mindset. That's what I assume they'll do. But then you can fill those spots potentially in a DeAndre Ayton trade. So they should continue to shop him, see what they can get. I agree with you. If it's not an obvious win or an obviously solid trade, then they shouldn't just trade him for nothing like what Washington just did. They can keep DeAndre Ayton going into next year and try and fill those spots. But if a good Ayton trade comes along, it could be easier to fill those spots with higher quality players. So that's really the one question mark before free agency is, can they find an Ayton trade? And then once free agency starts, how will they fill out these remaining spots?
Well, the cap god said it all.
Your boy Flex says the Suns have a plan.
What do you think about Flex's tweet saying the Suns have a plan, Tori?
I will not. I don't want to talk about Flex, man. I don't know how many people in here are Flex stands like you two are, but I don't want to.
Hold on. Whoa. All right. Calm down, Tori.
You know,
it's a little too far, my guy. A little too far.
I like the guy. I appreciate his contributions.
Here's what his tweet says. It's basically just it's basically what I would say. I keep hearing how the Suns are going to fill out the rest of the roster as if Matt Ishbia and James Jones made this trade and somehow forgot about the rest of the roster. Come on, folks. Y'all seriously think they made this deal and don't already have a plan in place? Just watch.
What
Tori.
are we talking about? Of course they have a freaking plan.
So you agree with Flex?
He's stating, bro, I could have tweeted that. You could have tweeted that. You're I don't know. My grandmother could have tweeted that, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, they have a plan to fill out their 10 roster spots that they have to fill out. No shit.
Sour grapes.
Oh my goodness, man. Come on now.
Look, Flex, Tori, just admit Flex has been right. Okay.
About what? Getting Chris Paul? He said a month before you got Chris Paul that you weren't getting Chris Paul, so I don't know what to believe.
He said we would get KD.
In the summer, and then it was 7 months later. He said Ayton was going to the Jazz.
He said it.
Bro, I can throw darts at a dartboard blindfolded and maybe get a bullseye every once in a while. Okay, doesn't mean I have good aim.
Look, we don't accept Flex slander on this channel. Okay.
Well, don't ask me about him then.
Maybe a little critique here and there, but we don't slander the man, okay? Not on Suns Valley Pod.
Listen, it's all
maybe on other Suns podcasts.
I don't know,
but not Suns Valley Pod.
About that.
Did he have anything to say about like the Beal thing? Like, what was he saying? Did he call the Beal thing? Or something?
He didn't call the Beal thing.
Okay.
He definitely did not call the Beal thing. I know that he
no
talked about it.
Yeah,
but that Beal thing came out of nowhere.
Don't
he did not call that.
Don't stop humming. All right, that's very condescending.
That's what you get for asking me about Flex.
Well, we apologize.
I did it because I just really wanted to get you worked up. It's really what it comes down to.
I'm already worked up constantly, so it's fine.
Well, Tori, I guess let us know if the Blazers want to trade any of their best players for scraps. We're interested.
You're open for business. Way open for business.
Other than that, Sundo, you need to go to bed?
I'm washing my clothes right now, so not necessarily.
So you want to keep going?
I mean, we can keep going, or I can go play Legend of Zelda, whichever one you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. I will be doing. I can do either one.
Well, the two of us need to get on 2K because so I don't think.
Oh my gosh.
We haven't told the chat this. So real cool. We're gonna be on Bleacher Report again. This time they want us to do a 2K off-season simulation where they're going to do it on their end. They're going to run the 2K off season and then present us with trade ideas and signing possibilities and have us make the decisions and stuff. So that's going to be the 28th. And we thought we needed you guys to be there but we forgot it's Bleacher Report. So like literally, if you guys don't want to show up, it's all good because they're gonna have a whole bunch of Bleacher Report savages in the chat ready to tear us to shreds. It almost feels like we're being fed to the wolves a little bit, Sundo.
Dude, that's exactly what it is. But they hated us last time.
But we're gonna we're going to, Burner said, Bleacher Report, Lord is doing miracles. You're not lying. Okay, it really was a miracle. Anyways, we need to work on that. I have a new NBA channel called Von Sanity. Check it out. I'm covering regular NBA stuff.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's not. Tori is at Blazers Uprise. If you guys aren't subbed to Blazers Uprise or Blazers Uprise Live, you should be. I'm sure you guys are going live tomorrow night to discuss these very topics and how it affects the Blazers.
Yeah, it's going to be a feisty stream tomorrow night on Blazers Uprise Live, our second channel. But then Thursday, Gabe, are you planning on doing anything for the draft? I mean, it doesn't really matter for you guys.
How about this? How about
what we watched the draft for?
I got a draft live stream. That'll be really dope. Best graphics I've ever done.
Talk about Bleacher Report not needing us to show up to help the numbers. Tori literally doesn't need us, but it's going to be worth watching because, dude, I bet you're going to break your record again of viewers. I think you will.
I'm putting so much. It's going to be like 60 to 70 hours.
It's kind of must-see TV, you know? So check out Blazers Uprise and Blazers Uprise Live. We love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. You know, this could call for a Suns win. Suns fleece. He's going to pass out.
I thought my computer glitched out.
Now that's a set of lungs.